Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today I am back with really big news and really good news for the Scarlet and Violet Pokemon TCG. It is excellent news to wake up to. I am very delighted. And let's just start off by saying art rares and special art rares are coming back in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, there's almost certainly going to be somebody out there at some point that goes, obviously they were coming back. No, they really weren't. I didn't see anybody predicting this, and frankly, this would not have been a sensible prediction to make, because there was no real reason to think this. Like, if we look at V-Star Universe, this is where we got our artwork rares and our special art rares. The difference, of course, being that artwork rares are regular Pokemon, but special art rares are Pokemon V, Pokemon V Max, and Pokemon V Star. That's the difference between artwork rares and special art rares. And the thing is, that was in V-Star Universe. And V-Star Universe is a special set. It is our special end-of-year set where they do the big blowout to celebrate the end of the year. It's lovely. And we've seen this before. The equivalent last time round was VMAX Climax, which brought us in all of those lovely character rares and character super rares, which you may notice were essentially used as the trainer gallery in this past year of the Pokemon TCG. But that was the trainer gallery. It was a special part of English sets, not Japanese sets. Japan had already had the sets, or already had the cards, and they were older cards that we'd already had. That is not what's going on here. And if you want to go back a little bit further, we had all these Shining Pokemon that we ended up getting in Shining Fates, which was a special one-off thing, and then we didn't see shiny Pokemon coming around in other sets. So the fact that we are getting this in a regular set is a huge deal. The fact that we are getting it in Scarlet and Violet when it was done at the end of the Sword and Shield block and is carrying on into a new block when generally everything resets is a huge deal. Both of those points are absolutely gigantic. The fact that it is surviving the transition from Sword and Shield into Scarlet and Violet is a huge deal. The fact that it is happening in a main set, not as a one-off thing in a special set, is again an absolutely huge deal. And we don't know for certain, we can't know for certain, it's way too early. But if they're doing this in the Scarlet and Violet base set, you've got to think they're going to do it in Clayburst and Snow Hazard, which is the second main set we're going to be seeing. Are they going to do it in Triple Beat, the first mini set? We don't know. We don't have enough information to make a decision one way or the other, or make a prediction, really. We're not deciding anything. My point is, it's happening in a main set in the Scarlet and Violet era, and that is absolutely huge. Expect this to happen in every main set going forward, at least for the first year of the Pokemon TCG in Scarlet and Violet. At least for our first 4 sets, this seems to be a given at this stage, and there's a very good chance it happens moving forward beyond that. Mini sets, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. Main sets, I think the first 4 main sets, it's basically a given, and I am absolutely delighted. This is awesome news. We'll have to see what the pull rates are like. We'll have to see how many of them there are. Don't assume it's going to be like V-Star Universe. Assume there's going to be fewer of them. Having said that, if we do have a little bit of a look at the numbers, we can see that Gardevoir EX, the only special art rare we've seen, is 101 out of 78. Well, that's a lot more, ladies and gentlemen. That's 23. And remember that Scarlet and Violet over in Japan is split into Scarlet EX and Violet EX. They are special sets. So you can double it. You can imagine there's going to be the same in each. And that tells us there's at least 46 combined artwork rares and special art rares. They all have secret rare numbering. Although, to be fair, maybe there's going to be full arts and things of that nature. We don't know. Basically, the point I'm making here very simply is we don't know what the secret rares look like in Scarlet and Violet. We will know on Thursday, the 19th of January. That's when I'm going to be bringing you a video telling you all about the secret rares. So yes, there are at least 46 secret rares. We don't know how many of them are artwork rares, how many of them are special art rares. We don't know if there's some other kind of secret rares mixed in here. There's still an awful lot we don't know. Good. Good. Now, the Gardevoir is the only special art rare we've seen. It is a card we've previously seen. It looks very, very much like it is actually going to be the best DX we've got around at the moment, or at least one of the best. It's got that absolutely preposterously good ability that says as often as you like during your turn, you may attach a basic psychic energy from your discard to one of your psychic and put 2 damage counters on them. It is ridiculous energy acceleration, and then free energy, 190, heal any special conditions. It's fine. The thing is, we've not actually just seen the special art rare Gardevoir. We also saw the special art rare Curlier. And we also saw the special art rare Routes. And there's 2 things I love about this trio of cards. Firstly, it is clearly making a story. People are moving in with Routes. And then there's a baby coming along with Curlier. And then the family's kind of all grown up with Gardevoir. We've gone from like a little, well, not really a kid, but a young woman moving into a home to an old woman knitting with Gardevoir. Adore it. But secondly, they've let the same artist do all 3 cards. And I think this is absolutely amazing. And several of you at this stage are going to get flashbacks to Emboar, because I know I got flashbacks to Emboar. This is the one from Legendary Treasures. And again, we had a trio of cards which made up this kind of story from kid getting a little tepig all the way up to grown up sitting around with his own family with an Emboar, which is amazing. And newer players will, instead of the Emboar, be thinking about the Charizard, the one that came around in Generations, which did a very similar thing with a kid having his glasses stolen by Charmander all the way up to grown up on the mountain with Charizard protecting him from the wind. It's not the first time they've done something like this, but I want them to do it over and over again. Make it a cliche of the Pokemon TCG. I am absolutely fine with this, and you can age yourself here to whether you have instantly thought of the Emboar or the Charizard, or whether you thought it was a cool new thing. And there's probably a bunch, honestly, of others which I forgot about. But the fact that I went straight to the Emboar, which came out a decade ago, kind of tells you how old I am. But we've actually seen 4 new cards that are brand new cards here that are getting artwork rares as well. And I'm very proud to say I did all the translations myself. I did chat with a lovely Antoine Boulet. We like Antoine. But I legit did all these translations myself. I've decided that with Scarlet and Violet, I am only going to seek out where I absolutely have to. And I'm so far sticking to it. And I want to start off with the Graveyard here because this is legit. It is an evolving basic Pokemon, and it is legit. As a side note, we already know that the Mimikyu EX box that we are going to be getting has a Graveyard card in it. Yes, it is very likely it is this Graveyard. No, it's not going to be the artwork rare. Most likely, it's going to be the regular version. I desperately want it to be the artwork rare. It's so, it's beautiful, it's amazing. I would be extremely surprised at this stage. The safe money is that it's going to be the regular version. Still a cool card, but look at the so artwork here, and I know that artist has got a lot of fans. But the card is legit. And this is one of the ones I had to go check with Antoine, because I'm like, hang on a second, can that be real? Yes, I did translate it right. 1 psychic energy, 10 damage for each psychic Pokemon in your discard pile. Yeah, that's great. Because here's the thing. Let's say I can only get 11 Pokemon in my discard pile. That's still 120 for a single energy on a basic Pokemon. That's still really good. I have made decks based around stuff like Donphan, which did 120 for a single energy, and were really legitimately good decks. Like genuinely good decks. Doing 120 for a single energy on a stage 1. And I'm telling you now, those Donphan decks generally did not tank a hit. And things like the Donphan from Vivid Voltage did 20 damage to each of your bench Pokemon. Or something like the Excadrill that discarded the top 4 cards of your deck. And I had success with this Excadrill. I had good runs at the Players' Cups with this Excadrill. And now I can do that. And 11 Pokemon into discard, if you're building for it, really isn't that difficult. And now it's single energy on a basic Pokemon. I've seen a bunch of people going, oh, you need to get too many Pokemon in your discard pile. I disagree. I really disagree here. Because if I get like 10 Pokemon in the discard, that is good damage for a single energy. And that's before I start using stuff like Choice Belt. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a tip here. Super effective Glasses, which is going to survive rotation. And the following rotation. It makes weakness 3 times. Super effective Glasses on this Pokemon, if you're ever hitting Psychic Weakness, is legit. Like, really good. It does have to be Psychic Pokemon in your discard. I get it. No, this is legit, ladies and gentlemen. And this evolves. I suppose, tiny spoiler for Scarlet and Violet. This evolves. And we haven't seen the evolution yet. I think this could end up being top tier. I legit love the evolving basic, and we're going to have an evolution here, which in theory should be a bit better. I'm keeping my eye on this one. I think this could be good on its own, and I'm not even joking about that. I think it's really good. The other noteworthy one in terms of playability, at least, is Patcharisu. Adore the artwork. All this artwork is stunning. The ability says that it cannot be paralyzed. Very appropriate, being Patcharisu. And then for 2 energy, it does 10 damage, plus 20 more for each of your bench lightning Pokemon, but it is not affected by weakness. Damage is not affected by weakness. Which is honestly a little bit disappointing, but it might be too good if it was. Like, 5 bench Pokemon, that's 110 damage for 2 energy. If you hit for weakness, that legit 1-hit KOs a Lugia V. Which is kind of hilarious. There was no way they were going to really let that happen. It wouldn't get a V-Star, but it would get a V-Star with a Choice Belt, for instance. It would actually be the perfect numbers, but it doesn't hit for weakness, which is a little bit disappointing. Feel free to be upset about that, I suppose. There's not really much we can do about it. And it is 2 energy, not 1. And this is kind of my point about Graveyard here. This needs 2 energy and 5 bench Pokemon to hit 110, and it doesn't hit for weakness. Graveyard needs 10 Pokemon in the discard pile to hit for 110 for a single energy and does hit for weakness. No, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That's really, really good. Patcharisu is fine, but Graveyard here is really, really good. I do like Patcharisu. As for the other 2 here, they are not as exciting. I adore the artwork on the Riolu here. Shout out especially to the big fighting Pokemon, including Lucario on the wall. I just love this. This is kind of amazing. 1 energy 10, 2 energy 50 damage, and it takes 20 itself. Not to boast, totally translated that as I was reading the card. Like in real time, which makes me kind of happy. Love the artwork though. And then we've got a Slowpoke here. 2 energy, 20 damage, and single energy. I think it says this Pokemon becomes confused, and this Pokemon heals 30 damage. No, sorry, that was a mistake. This Pokemon goes to sleep and heals 30 damage, which actually makes way more sense in the context of the video games. Nemody is sleep. Conrad is confusion. Apologies for that one. So I'm pretty sure it says this Pokemon goes to sleep and this Pokemon heals 30 damage. It's not good, incidentally. Like, regardless, it's not a good card. But I do love the artwork here. It is beautiful artwork. And all this artwork is beautiful. The Slowpoke is beautiful. The Riolu is beautiful. The Patcharisu is maybe my favorite of them. Obviously, the Graveyard is absolutely stunning here. I don't think that's really a big surprise to anybody. And then we've got that whole Gardevoir line, which firstly is stunning and secondly makes a story. But I cannot stress this enough. The fact that it is in a main set, not a mini set or a special set, is a huge deal. The fact that it is surviving the transition from Sword and Shield into Scarlet and Violet is a huge deal. And it is now, and not guaranteed, but it is overwhelmingly likely at this stage that we are going to see this in every main set moving forward. At least for year one of Scarlet and Violet, quite possibly for the whole Scarlet and Violet block. Mini sets in Japan, I don't know, but remember all of our sets will have at least one Japanese main set in, so they will be in all of our English sets at least. And this is a huge deal. What are the other secret rares going to look like? We don't know, but as a start, and I've had a few people already have a look at the few cards that were revealed and go, oh, we're taking a real step back in terms of artwork when we move into Scarlet and Violet. And my response to all of them has been, hang on a second, mate. We have no idea what's happening in Scarlet and Violet. This is better than I hoped for. I'm like legit excited about this, because in every Japanese box, if we go by previous sets, the likelihood is a Japanese box is going to have 3 artwork rares and 1 special art rare in every box. Oh, I'm excited, ladies and gentlemen. I am excited. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comments. And also, Graveyard, do not sleep on that card. That is a legit good card. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk Pokemon and card games and Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel. You can get some bonus podcasts where I answer all of your questions. You can join a Discord where we chat about Pokemon or, anything else. And you can get shout-outs on the channel, like the lovely Kenneth, who's been a supporter of ours for a little while now and is a very lovely person indeed. So shout out to Kenneth for being awesome and for the support and being lovely and all of that good stuff. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.